Welcome to Proper Parts. Today I'd like to introduce you to our new Servo controller 141 for Rolls-Royce and Bentley cars with the auto fascia switch to the right of the temperature controls. This would include the late Shadow and T2s and all Rolls-Royce and Bentleys up to, not including, the 20,000 series cars. The 141 was designed as a replacement for UD-18870. A few features we've added include 7 LED indicators that hopefully will save you a bit of time troubleshooting the system. We've added a switch to allow you to calibrate the servo unit without the need of the ACU test box. Also, this controller has automatic shutdown in case of a stalled servo. One difference is that the UD-18870 routed power for the servo through limit switches, leaving the relays energized at the hot and cold stops. The 141 senses the limit switches and shuts down the appropriate part of the circuitry, illuminating the hot stop or cold stop LED. The red LED is lit when the servo is running towards hot. The blue LED is lit when the servo is running towards cold. There are 2 green LEDs. The one on the left is lit when 9.1 volts is present and available for the control circuitry. The one on the right is lit when the 10 volt feed for the servo itself is present. The red LED towards the back of the board indicates that the servo has traveled to full hot, 100%. And the blue LED indicates that it has traveled to full cold, 0%. The yellow LED is lit when a stall occurs and the unit goes into shutdown. This usually is an indication that a blend flap has become jammed. The 141 controller is reset simply by turning the air conditioning system off and back on again. The switch has 3 positions. Center is the normal run mode. Turn to the left is the calibration mode for the lower system, and turn to the right, it is the calibration mode for the upper system. Here we have a servo unit from an 84 Spur. Let's take the 141 for a test drive. We'll watch it run towards cold as I turn it on. We'll notice this blue LED will light up and the servo runs towards cold. And I can run it back towards hot, back towards cold again. To calibrate the unit, we'll need to take 2 voltage readings from the servo position potentiometer at terminal 3 of the controller. 1 reading at the full cold and 1 reading at the full hot. We will subtract the 2 and find the difference. Then, for the upper system, we will take 51% of that difference, or 48% for the lower system, and add that to the full cold reading. So let's take a couple of measurements. We're going to attach a clip lead to terminal 3 of the controller, which can be accessed right there. Turn the unit on. The first reading we want is the full hot reading. And we're simply going to unplug the sensor chain. And it is run to full hot. We can see our reading is 6.92 volts. I'm going to write that down. This is our 100% reading. Now move the switch to the right and set the temperature selector to full cold. And we've run to our full cold stop, 0%. And we have 5.79 volts. We're going to write that down. Our difference here is 1.13 volts And as we're calibrating for the upper unit, we're going to multiply that times 51%, which is going to round up to 0.58, and the 0.58 will be added to 5.79, the lower, the cold reading, giving us 6.37 volts as our target for calibration. We're going to start by turning the trim potentiometer anti-clockwise, and we're going to center the temperature control. And now we're looking for 6.37 volts. We're going to turn the screw clockwise. And I'm going to call that close enough. The book gives you, I think, 3% plus or minus. Now all we have to do is plug the sensor chain back in and switch back to the run mode, making sure that switch is in the center. And we're set up and running. The last thing I'd like to cover is the 141 controller's ability to sense a stalled servo. We're going to simulate this by placing something soft in the gears. Watch the yellow LED as I run the selector towards cold. I don't recommend doing this at home, kids. And we notice the yellow LEDs come on, and nothing I can do will affect it in any way. So I'm going to turn the selector back towards hot. We're going to turn it off. And we're going to turn it back on. And now it is functioning again. Thanks for your time. Please call or email if you have any questions. Thanks.